Welcome to our YouTube tutorial on the law of inertia. In this video, we will explore the fundamental concept of inertia, understand first law of motion, and see how it applies to everyday situations. So, let's get started. Galileo Galilei, the renowned Italian scientist and astronomer, conducted a groundbreaking experiment that helped establish the foundation for the law of inertia. Galileo's experiment involved rolling balls down inclined planes to study the behavior of moving objects. He aimed to challenge the prevailing notion that objects of different masses fell at different rates. Galileo hypothesized that in the absence of external forces, objects would continue moving at a constant velocity. To test his hypothesis, Galileo used inclined planes of varying angles and released balls from different heights. He had observations in following cases. Case 1. When ball is dropped from one side, it will go up on the opposite side up to the same height at which it is dropped down. Case 2. When angle of inclination of one side is decreased, the ball will travel further to reach its original position. Case 3. When angle of inclination of one side is decreased to 0, the ball will travel constantly in absence of any frictional force. Based on his observations, he realized that we need an unbalanced force to change the motion of the marble, but no force is required when the marble is moving uniformly. In other words, objects move at a constant speed if no force acts upon them. This led to the formulation of first law of motion, popularly called law of inertia. First law of motion, law of inertia. An object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line, unless acted upon by an external unbalanced force. Basically, all objects have a tendency to resist the change in the state of motion or rest. This tendency is called inertia. All bodies do not have the same inertia. Inertia depends on the mass of a body. Mass of an object is the measure of its inertia. More the mass, more inertia, and vice versa. Inertia is broadly categorized into three kinds: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Objects have a tendency to resist the change in the state of rest. This tendency is called inertia of rest. Objects have a tendency to resist the change in the state of motion. This tendency is called inertia of motion. Objects have a tendency to resist the change in the state of direction. This tendency is called inertia of direction. What motion would the passengers undergo if they failed to use their seat belts, and the car were brought to a sudden and abrupt halt by a collision with a wall? What would happen if the latter was negligently strapped to the truck in such a way that it was free to slide along the top of the truck? The passenger will fall forward due to inertia of motion. The passenger upper body is in motion with motion of car, but the lower body comes to rest when brakes are applied suddenly. Because of inertia of motion, the body fall forward. The seat belt prevent the motion of upper body, hence save passenger from getting injured. The latter will fall forward due to inertia of motion. The latter is in motion with truck. However, when truck comes to rest suddenly, the latter is still in inertia of motion. Because of this, it falls forward. That's why it is advised to tie luggage tightly with ropes to prevent from falling. Let's understand concept of inertia using activity 9.2 from NCE or T textbook. Place a thick cardboard on a glass tumbler, and over it place a rupee coin. Flick the cardboard with your fingers and observe. Observations. The cardboard moves away but the coin falls in the glass tumbler. Reason. The cardboard and the coin were in the state of rest. When the cardboard is suddenly set into motion due to flick, the coin, due to inertia of rest, continue to be in the state of rest. Thus, it drops into glass tumbler. Here are some more examples of law of inertia in day-to-day activities. Pile of books on a sheet of paper. Do not tumble when the paper is pulled out with a sharp jerk. The passengers fall forward if a vehicle suddenly stops. Dust flies off when a carpet is beaten with stick. Tiny droplets of water fly off when a wet towel is suddenly jerked. Fruits, leaves fall when a branch of tree is shaken vigorously. A rider fall forward when a galloping horse stops suddenly. A long jump athlete runs a long distance before taking jump. It is important to run in the direction of moving bus while jumping out of it. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tutorials on science and beyond. Thank you for watching, and keep unleashing the power of inertia in your life.